Well, as mentioned Thursday, the stage is set for former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris to debate on September 10th. ABC News will host the debate, which was originally slated for Trump and Biden before the president announced that he would not be seeking re-election. Trump's camp is pushing for two more debates in September on Fox and NBC. No word yet if those debates may happen. And for more insight, let's go now to Dr. Todd Belt, professor and director at George Washington University's Political Management Master's Program. He is also an expert on political debates. Dr. Belt, good to have you back on the show. Your thoughts on this upcoming debate and what will you be expecting?
Well, great to be with you again, and thanks for having me on. Well, this is game on. This is going to be the first one we get with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. We haven't seen anything like this, and so we don't know what to expect. And the real thing about debates is that it's about expectations. It's not so much which candidate did better or worse or which scores better on a Cambridge debate scale, but really who exceeds expectations. That's oftentimes why we see these candidates try to lower expectations ahead of the debates. And this will be the first time for Kamala Harris under the real big spotlight. We saw her, of course, in 2020 when she was running, and she had that one dig against Joe Biden, we all remember, about busing. And we know what to expect from Donald Trump. So I think Kamala is really the wild card here.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you know, with less than 90 days left until the election, how important do you think this debate will be, especially for Vice President Harris?
Well, I really think it's much more important for her. It's often said that a presidential debate doesn't win you the election, but it can certainly cost you the election. It's important that she doesn't necessarily need to improve upon all this bounce she's got and the increased enthusiasm. Just she has to make sure that she doesn't lose it or pop the bubble. I think that's really it. She has to make sure that people realize that she thinks that she needs to make people realize that she is a legitimate candidate, she can do the job, and she has a future vision for America.
There's also been a lot of mudslinging from both tickets so far, and while that's not unusual in races, is it an effective strategy, and do you think we'll see that play out on the debate stage?
Well, the interesting thing about mudslinging is you really have to know a little bit about the person who's the target in order for those attacks to stick. And because Harris and Walz are somewhat, less known. Harris, of course, was vice president, but she was in the shadow of Biden. It's harder for those attacks to stick to them. We will see how this plays out in the coming months. But I think the other thing that we're going to see here is more policy information. Like you were saying, this campaign has had a ton of attacks, both from Biden when he was running and Trump, as he's always wanted to do. But I'm really looking forward to hearing what their plans for the future are for the next 4 years for the U.S.
Yeah, and how important do you think these debates are, though, to voters? And what difference does it make, if at all, in swaying public opinion, especially at this point?
Right. That's, as I mentioned earlier, it can't win you, but it can lose it for you. You can create a misstep. You can do something that people don't like, or say something that's blatantly false, and like Gerald Ford did back in '76. And that can really make you look out of touch with the American people. It's really important that you show competence. And I think that's what a lot of people will be looking for from Harris.
And quickly, before I let you go, we only have about 30 seconds left or so, but in a press conference yesterday, Trump said that he'd like to have 2 additional debates. Right. Do you think that's going to happen? And do you think it's even feasible at this point, with the election day quickly approaching?
Well, generally, we usually have 2 to 3 presidential and 1 vice presidential. I would think that Harris might want another one. I think it's possible we might get 2 presidential and 1 vice presidential. That's what I put my money on.
Okay, and we'll see what happens. Dr. Belt, always good to be with you. Thanks for your insights.
Thanks. Great to be here.